Match 50, Monster X vs. Bagan by Thomas Singleton.
Ugh.
White-hot plasma lanced into Monster X's face, hurtling the gaunt humanoid into the side of a mountain, causing an avalanche. Mounds of dirt and rock tumbled down, burying Monster X. As the armor around him face steamed and sizzled into molten slag, Monster X's 6 eyes glared at the terrifying creature standing before him. It was the largest creature on Earth. The creature looked like a demonic dragon as it stood upright. Armor made of
You mean erect?
yeah, right. Use old vocabulary here. Armor made of steel and bone shielded its tainted brown flesh. Demonic horns stretched out of its head and nose. Its shoulders were laced with bony spurs. It had a long armored tail. As its blood
It's
red eyes
Comedino.
yeah, right. As its blood red eyes glowed, Bagan shrieked a monstrous roar. For the first time in its awful existence, Monster X quivered with fear. It had heard stories of this abomination. Even though Earth was a tiny speck in the vacuum of space, its gigantic inhabitants were infamous throughout the cosmos. Monster X's creators warned him of monsters like Godzilla, King Kong, Mothra, and Gamera. But tales of Bagan were extremely rare, and with good reason. All spacefaring civilizations believed in the same superstition. Bagan was a demon made flesh. Some believed he was a dragon that had forsaken its soul. Others believed the humans had combined its DNA with Godzilla and King Ghidorah.
Bagan and King Ghidorah.
Yeah, right. My slip up of 2016. Anyway. With Godzilla and King Ghidorah cells to create a living god. Or maybe this was once the guardian of a force that had lost its way. Nevertheless, all agreed Bagan was now evil incarnate. All they could do was pray he'd one day disappear. Monster X closed and opened his eyes. Bagan was still there. If the demon could express emotion, it'd be mocking Monster X with a demented smile. Bagan's horns crackled with light. Monster X quickly pulled himself to his feet. That's when he froze. The air around him warped and hissed with static. A few seconds later, glowing diamonds rained down from the sky. Monster X learned the hard way that they were really hot ionized gas. Monster X screamed as Bagan's burning projectiles punched through his armor, boiling his veins and entrails. Bagan chuckled. Pass.
Oh, how many are we reading
5.
again? Okay.
5 indentations.
Okay. When the diamond storm stopped, Monster X quickly retaliated. Although his body felt like a furnace, Monster X had sufficient willpower to continue fighting. Bagan watched the alien jump up and slap him in the face with his tail, defined by tail.
Just tails?
Quote-unquote tail. As soon as he landed, Monster X struck Bagan's bulk with a series of punches and kicks that would have incapacitated even the strongest of monsters. Bagan felt nothing.
Ow, the edge.
Seeing the futility of his attacks made Monster X extremely nervous. He jumped up, hoping to have better luck with Bagan's face. Oh. Instead, the nefarious dragon greeted him with a thunderous plasma blast. Once again, Monster X was hurtled backwards into the mountain, but Bagan kept pouring more and more into the plasma. To Monster X's surprise, he was blasted not only into the mountain, but on the other side. On his knees, a wary Monster X gazed into the newly formed hole of the mountain. Bagan glared at him from the other side. Instead of firing another plasma ray, Bagan trudged forward. Each step Bagan took shook the earth. As Bagan clawed his way into the mountain, the walls started to cave in around him. Before Monster X's very eyes, Bagan vanished in a haze of dust and rock, buried alive in the heart of the mountain. Monster X gaped at the mountain, astonished. Had the fates handed him victory? No, this Well, maybe this isn't an MM match.
Yeah.
The Earth was a living being. It hated Monster X. It and MM hated Monster X. But perhaps it saw him as the lesser of the two evils, not MM. Monster X didn't care.
Out
This would
the
be his
edge.
great. This would be his greatest triumph. His creators would reward him with quote unquote pleasures beyond his
Oh.
wildest dreams. Beyond his wildest dreams and nightmares. Oh. Very soon, Monster X would become the most feared name in all creation. The universe will run red with the blood of billions as they curse his name. Winner, Monster X.
You got one more.
Okay. The mountain trembled, freezing Monster X's black heart. This couldn't be happening. It'd take days for even the mightiest monsters to break out of a mountain, but it didn't take Bagan days. It took him a few minutes. In a showcase of raw power, Bagan charged out of the mountainside, heralding the end of days. Monster X answered with an onslaught of hot yellow-hued bolts from his eyes. However, not even Monster X's gravity bolts could deter Bagan. All they could do was splash harmlessly against thick skin and bone. Pass.
Bagan rammed into Monster X at full speed, fully erect.
Ooh.
The air was
Ooh.
not the only thing knocked out of Monster X's lungs. Holy shit,
Ooh.
that was a powerful bang. Blood spurted out of Monster X's mouth. The armor around his chest shattered, while the bones underneath cracked. When Monster X hit the ground, he made an impact crater. Monster X was so dazed he couldn't hear or feel the footsteps. Bagan loomed over him. Bagan's hand moved at speeds that bellied his massive girth. With the swipe of his claw, Bagan ripped Monster X's bottom jaw clean off. Holy shit! There was so much blood. Monster X started choking on it, relishing in the bloodshed. Bagan assaulted the dying Aryan. Skin, blood, and strips of organs quickly found themselves dangling from Bagan's claws. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, we're still here. We're still here.
Okay. Yeah, you guys went unusually silent there. Alright. He tortured Monster X for hours. When Bagan finally stopped, Monster X had become nothing more than a pool of blood and mangled flesh. Bagan turned away, facing the blood-red horizon. Was it just coincidence or the beginning of annihilation? Humanity
Are you sure this wasn't Are you sure this wasn't written by MM?
Or it could be Red Dawn, the Kaiju version. Humanity responded with swarms of fighter jets, helicopters, tanks, laser cannons, and minions. I don't know. Kiryu and Godzilla, robotic doppelgangers of the atomic menace known as Godzilla, descended from the sky. The fighting machine Bakura arrived next to them. So did the robot jet Jaguar. Mankind would not face this threat alone, for his life was not the only one at stake, for Bagan threatened all life. The Earth sent its protectors Mothra and Moth Goddess, Batra the Dark Mothra. You mean the Black Mothra?
Oh, the Battle Mothra.
Gamera, the guardian of the custodian of the universe. In 5 minutes, the T. Ultraman entered Earth's orbit after brutally murdering Zone Fighter.
That's a funny way to connect it.
Taking his place amongst the quote-unquote protectors. Yeah, you don't belong there, Ultraman. King Dong arrived on all fours, pounding his chest in defiance. Spores of life poured onto the heavens, sending the earth within Biolante's vines. Even the beast from Monster Island arrived to cleanse the world of Bagan's evil. Radon sliced the air at supersonic speeds. Anguirus, King Caesar, Gorosaurus, Bagan, and Titanosaurus, who finally was resurrected, and the Crybaby shook the land as they made their presence known. In front of Monster Island dozens was a creature so majestic and feared that it gave even Bagan cause for alarm. Gamagedon shrieked and ear-piercing roar as he led his brethren into war. army of mutants, freaks, giants, machines, and gods now opposed him. Such an alliance had never been dreamed of, except in a horrible fanfic. Oh. But the fate of the world now rested on their shoulders. The air grew cold as Bagan's wicked laughter cursed the winds. Every living critter on the planet felt a chill of terror ensnare their souls. Those that opposed him suddenly felt waves of doubt. Well, guys, time to get... Hey, don't you guys think it's time to leave? Yeah, I have a meeting to attend to. Yeah, definitely. One thing is for certain. Should they beat Bagan here and now, it will be the dawning of a new golden age. But should Bagan triumph, it will usher in a new era of darkness and despair. To be continued, winner, Bagan.
Mm-hmm.
Winner, amen.
Ooh, boy. All I could say is, a lot of what I had, I was after reading all of Tom's previous matches, I was honestly rather fearful that maybe this wouldn't be as good as I thought it'd be. But honestly, wow. Don't get me wrong. The match itself obviously is meant to glorify Bagan and sort of set up, big, huge, bad Bagan, whatever. You kind of get that. If that's not right, yeah. And again, in some ways it's pretty edgy, but I feel like it's. I don't know. I feel like it's. I think the edge here is right. Like it doesn't feel. It feels more natural. Like I said, if you can't take the edge, that's fine. But I feel like the edge is more natural. But if you can't take the edge,
You can't take the
that's a funny sentence. If you can't take the edge, get
Jax,
out.
you have to put that in your signature now. If you can't take the edge,
Get out.
that's okay.
But honestly, man, Tom's writing style, yeah, there is definitely a giant leap in quality. Like, it just seems much, the writing quality is better here compared to match 43. So, I just, yeah, it definitely, it feels like there's a little bit more gravitas with his writing, which I'm happy for. Edgy, sure, but it feels like there's more gravitas this time. So, and the banner.
All I could think of.
Okay, go ahead.
All I could think about this match now is if you can't take the edge.
With that
If you
said,
can't take the edge,
if you can't take the edge, get out. But one minor nitpick with the banner. The banner itself looks fantastic. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
My only complaint is that Monster X is way too big. Like, seriously, his distance in relation to the bag and the fact that he's in the background, he's just so freaking big. Shrink him. And other than that, we're good.
Well, Kaiju X. Bagan did do that to Monster X at the end of the match.
Oh yeah, you're not wrong. Shrunk him to a pile of blood and organs.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise this was definitely a heck of an opener for Bagan. Like I said, the only fair criticism is that like I said, it was obviously one-sided in Bagan's favor, obviously.
Yeah.
Because all praise Bagan and all that.
Yep.
So, but otherwise, I do feel like it was definitely a heck of an opener for Bagan, and Tom definitely. Like I said, the match I've definitely noticed compared to match 43, which I think was Tom's last. I think that was Tom's last match before this, like his recent one before 50. Definitely, it definitely felt like he upped his game with this part. So.
Definitely.
Right, and hopefully from here we'll be seeing like Tom evolve more as a writer over time. Will there be things to nitpick? Absolutely. Like,
yeah, he's gonna be more edgy.
right. Absolutely. There will be things to pick apart. But otherwise, I do feel like we are looking at a nice step up in terms of KWC. I know this was the match that definitely got me hooked into reading KWCs, for sure. Like, Bagan was like...
definitely.
Right, like I said, Bagan, as a traditional Bagan fanboy when I was young, oh boy. Yeah, this definitely caught my attention. I was like, what? Whoa. So, yeah, this was like, it was like my match made for me. Poor Monster X. Did you have anything else to add, Alex?
I'll let Joe go first.
Okay, Joe, you go first.
Well, first of all, this is a match that MM must really love.
Oh,
But yeah, this match was great. I did like this match. It was really good.
Yeah, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
All I could say about this match is, if you can't take the edge, then that's okay.
Hashtag if you can't take the edge. But yeah, did you have anything else to add on, Joe, or is that it?
That's it.
Okay. Did you have anything else to add, Alex, besides being able to take on the edge?
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
all I have to
Monster
say.
X could take on the edge.
Monster X could not take on the edge, despite being Edge incarnate.
You know, someone needs to Photoshop Bagan on one of those scooters as and then have a helmet, and then you say, "Totally edgy, man."
We'll
make he's some sort of edgy kid.
Well, so Shadow the Hedgehog then. That's right, I went there. Anyway. Whew, boy. This was match 50, a part 1 of 3 of the well-known Bagan trilogy of the KWC. And we will see you guys next time for match 51, Bagan vs. Everyone. Part 2 of the Bagan trilogy. Until then.
Bagan versus a lot of monsters.
More accurately, yes, a lot of monsters. Until then, everyone.